The dynamics of electing leadership for Africa Union are not always in sync with good campaigning. That's why there's only been one non-Muslim leader of Africa Union, the lady from South Africa. You can't say that Francophone Africa campaign is better. The other dynamics are beyond the energies and resourcing of campaigns by the country sponsoring candidates.
What's at play?
There are many different things. One, I've been told, I've promised otherwise, but traditionally, and I've seen this in the UN system where I worked for 8 years, Francophone Africa votes as a bloc when there's an election. And it's extremely difficult normally for Francophone Africa to vote as a bloc for a non-Francophone speaker if and when there's a Francophone speaker, French speaker among the candidates.
Right.
That's an important dynamic. Number two, there's a very large constituency of Muslim states, or Muslim majority states on this continent. They did not take it very kindly when the president of Kenya rushed to stand behind Israel on its unjustifiable genocide in Gaza. That doesn't sit well. That means that the Ruto does not become an asset if you're going to look for votes in Arabic Muslim countries in Africa.
There's more liability in that case.
Yes. And the main alternative to Raila is a Muslim who speaks French. So those are important considerations. Number three, the Anglophone vote has been split. You remember SADC, which has a candidate from Madagascar, has apparently thrown its weight behind the candidate from Djibouti. And when Ramaphosa makes that statement, he's speaking for more than South Africa. So there are so many dynamics. To roll back these gains by the Djibouti candidate is a tall order. I know that Baba has done his best. I don't know how well it will work.
Kama uko na chemist, mahali ambapo wafuasi wa Raila Odinga, Agwambo, Tenga Baba wako wengi, tafadhali stock up your chemist. Weka stock ya dawa za pressure, dawa za kuharisha, na ikiwezekana uza pampers ya watu wakubwa. Kwa sababu tunaelekea AU election, ama kuchaguliwa kwa chairperson wa AU. Na sisemi mzee wetu ataanguka, but ukienda wa competition kuna kupata na kukosa. Uenda candidate wa Djibouti akachukua. Na mimi najua pressure itakuwa mingi sana, kwa sababu watu wa Homa Bay, Siaya, Wajaluo, Kisumu, nini, Matumai, sasa ati wanasema usiniulize mambo ya Gachagua, sijui Ruto, wakina Uhuru, sijui. We are now international. My friend, yo kiburi huenda ikaisha soon. So kama wewe uko na chemist mahali ambapo wafuasi wa Raila wako, dawa za pressure ziwe kwa wingi. In fact, order container mzima, dawa za kuharisha na pampers ya watu wakubwa. Nishawapatia business idea. Usiku mwema.
I don't support Mr. Odinga's bid for a number of reasons, and I've already stated that in different fora. Number one, because his bid is an attempt to use the AU position to exile him from local politics so that this administration may get the support of his constituency. That is not a reason why you give somebody a seat that requires young and vibrant individuals. Mr. Odinga is going to be 80 in the month of January. Really, at age 80, one should be writing his memoirs, not competing with younger people for holding an office, which is a secretariat's office. So, and even the manner and style in which she has campaigned is inconsistent with what the spirit of the AU is. There have been people who have held that office. They did not campaign in that manner. President Connery did not campaign in that manner. He was the first. Jinping of Gabon did not campaign in the manner that he is. Nkosazana and Lamini Zuma did not campaign in that manner. Mohamed Faki did not campaign in that manner. My own view is that Kenyans and other Kenyans, the Kenyan government may support him, but I believe that he is not my candidate.
Kwa majina naitwa Dennis Wanjala, kijana kutoka kule Bungoma. Mmejua mada inasema maneno ya Raila Odinga vile alisema eti anataka kukwiti maneno ya EU. Wacha niambie Raila Amolo Odinga, wewe lazima upambane na hali yako. Hakuna mtu alikutuma uwanie kiti ya AU, na sisi tuko kwa harakati ya kuhakikisha kuwa Raila Amolo Odinga ile kitu alitufanyia wakati tunamuondoa ule mkora anaitwa William Ruto, akaungana na mkora mwenzake ili waendelee kukula inchi. Na mimi naambia Raila, uanguke uruke chini ufanye nini, lazima uende kwa Mama Aida. Tutamuangusha asubuhi. Mimi nawaambia hapa, mnapiga hapa kelele bure. Sisi tunafanya kazi. Wewe piga hapa kelele. Mimi wacha niwaambie wananchi, ukiona Raila anasema anataka kujitoa kwa race, vitu zimemzidi. Talent ya Raila ni ya kuanguka. Sasa mimi nashindwa. Mtu anakuja hapa ako na miaka 60 na anakuja kutuambia eti amekuwa akipigia Raila Odinga. Amepiga kura ya Raila na anajua Raila Odinga ni wa kuanguka, baada anapiga tu. Sasa bila shidwa. Mimi nikimalizia nataka kuambia wananchi, Raila Odinga ataanguka kura. Lakini mjue broad based government ya Raila Odinga na William Ruto wote lazima tuwatembeza, mmoja Bondo mwingine Sogoi. Hakuna maneno ya kutuambia Raila Odinga aendelee kukaa hapa akitusumbua. Mtu anakuja hapa kutusumbua ati Raila Odinga alileta democracy. Kwani unaweza leta democracy ukiwa peke yako? Bwana, Raila Odinga kuleta democracy akiwa peke yake. Kuna watu walipigania democracy. Muache kutusumbua na huyo mzee. Huyo Raila lazima aende nyumbani. Tumechoka na yeye.
I respect what Raila has done for this country. He has made sacrifices a lot of others were not ready to make. He has suffered pain for a national renewal when others were not ready to do it.
Wow.
I've known this intimately. I hid him in my house when Moi was trying to arrest him. I disguised him and tried to smuggle him into the American embassy, and they refused to take him in. And we had to work to ship him out through Uganda. And luckily, Uganda at the time did not behave the way Kenya has behaved to us. Uganda, they would have arrested him and brought him back to Moi. And that's when he went to now, and he has made his contribution. Regardless of how this ends, it cannot erase the historical important role he has played.
True.
But now the rest of us have to say, we need to rally together in defeating the forces of reaction and regression in the absence of Raila from our ranks.
Then how independent are we as a country?
You are not. You cannot be independent when you are kneeling begging for some money to pay delayed public salaries, when you are about to default on even domestic debt. And your independence is theoretical. You are in a dark place financially.
Financially.
The worst place we've been since independence.
Worst.
And this gives us a vulnerability and gives others an inordinate influence upon us.
Hii ni dai bwana, hii ni dai. Hii nywele si nyeusi hivyo. Hii ni dai. Kuwa kama wenzako bwana, kuwa kama wenzako. Wewe ushazeeka. Saa hii anaongea na Kiarabu. Ameanza na Kizungu, ameanza na French, akaingia Kizungu. Saa hii ako Kiarabu. Alafu Raila na degree yake ya welding bado anakudanganya atachukua hii kiti. Francophone countries zote zinaenda kupigia huyu mtu. Umeona hata hajachukua time mingi kumaliza kuongea. Raila na dai, ona dai. Amepaka dai. Hii ni dai. Kuwa kama wenzako. Raila ana fake mpaka huko kwa wazungu, ana fake mpaka huko AU. Ana fake kila mahali, ana fake hapa Kenya. Bwana, we are tired bwana. Ona wenzake. Huyu aenda kuwa number 2. Raila number 3. Alafu yule mwingine number 1. Take it from me.
What's your opinion on Baba?
Aache kutumia Wajaluo kibiashara. You know Wajaluo ndio shop yake. Hiyo ndio ofisi yake.
Haji sasa.
Tutumia vibaya. Every time Luo's die alafu anaenda ana negotiate na watu anapewa zake. So ulisikia Sakaja anampatia 200 million every month. Did you hear any of his people repudiate that?
It's speculative. Like nobody has proven it. Like is there like proof like
Okay, but did they repudiate it?
Because they don't have information about it. Sometimes the best answer is silence.
What do you mean? Even if he is not speaking, he has mouthpieces. None of them distanced Mzee from that allegation, that assertion.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
his love for money is legendary. Okay, kila mtu anapenda pesa, but hii tukufe ndiye aende kunegotiate sijui.
But he's been representing
even Sonko himself tweeted, what do you mean? Even Sonko himself tweeted it. Na unajua watu wa unga wanakuanga na intel top notch.
So bado hii wiki ambayo inakuja tutakuwa bado tu hapo na wewe bumper to bumper. Mi kazi yangu ni kubeba tu bagi ya baba, kuhakikisha baba amekaa mzuri, kuhakikisha kila kitu iko fiti. Mimi ni kijana yake ya mkono, si ndio hiyo? Kijana ya baba. Dalili ya mvua ni nini? Dalili ya mvua ni nini? Mwenye macho haambiwi na mwenye masikio haambiwi. Sisi tuko hapo bumper to bumper, tuko pamoja.
Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is not going to win the AUC chairmanship in February 2025. Not because he doesn't have support, not because he's too weak, not because he's old, but because he doesn't want to win. Most of you guys will think that I'm mad. Watu wengine watasema mohawe ni mwenda wazimu. How can you predict the downfall of a fellow Kenyan? My friend, I'm a Kenyan. I support Raila Amolo Odinga, and honestly, I've been supporting this guy for the last 25 years. We have been supporting this guy for the last 25 years. Wacha niongee on behalf of Kenyans. And this guy is the most experienced person right now in Kenya, politically. Tukisema mambo ya siasa, he has the experience, he has the energy, he has the numbers, he has the system. But still, anacheza na akili yetu. This guy doesn't want to win anything. Wewe umekaa hapo kwa kibanda unapiga story unasema waliibia kura. Hakuna kura yenye inaibwa.
Watu wangu, ile sarakasi iko hii nchi. Ati baba man anathreaten sasa ku withdraw kutoka AUC. Hiyo kutafuta hiyo kiti ati inatumika for the country kupelekwa hivi na hapendi hiyo maneno. Raila, tunataka uanguke hiyo kitu ikutoke. Usitunyime sherehe. We are waiting for that fall. Please. Baba hapana, withdraw tafadhali. Hapana, please. Tunataka ufike pale hadi mwisho. Kwanza debate ya Friday tunaikojea sana. Do you know that man you're debating with? Do you know how many nationalities or rather how many languages he speak? Baba tafadhali usitunyime sherehe. Sisi we are waiting for you. Uanguke hiyo kitu ikutoke kwa roho. Alafu sisi tupige sherehe because of that. Alafu ukuje uanzane na Kasongo. Unaona? Bana usitunyime sherehe baba man.
Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, when you win the AU, we want you to come to Kenya so that we can just celebrate. Hatutakupea vitu mbaya, hatutakupea we just want to show you how Kenyans celebrate when they win things. Kiasi tu. Utapenda.
I think Mr. Odinga is going to lose this election in Addis Ababa, and I think I'm the only one who thinks that. I will be shocked if he gets even a slim majority. I think the candidate from Djibouti is going to win a landslide. One of the biggest influences of the AU is the French. Now, Amina and I, we knew we were going to win. And then the French government intervened heavily in those elections. And we lost. We even had the support of Djibouti. This Djibouti that is standing here today. Yeah. One of the people who stabbed us in the back in that election. I think that the same scenario is what is going to happen in the AU. I think the French, the Sahel areas, major states in Central Africa are going to stand up to the candidature of Mr. Odinga and say no.
Personally, as a prophet of God and as a servant of God, I don't support him. One, because Ruto William killed so many Kenyans in Kondele, killed so many Kenyans in Nairobi. So many Kenyans died. After this death, now Ruto and Raila sit down. Then they say work together. They are working together on top of the graves of Kenyans. They are dancing on top of the graves of Kenyans. If Raila was so serious about his patriotism for the Kenyan people, he shouldn't have joined hand with Ruto, who is a killer, a murderer, a vampire. He wouldn't have done so. And for that reason, I 70% doubt whether he will make it. If he make it, okay. But I, Apostle Michael Band, I don't support. I know many people will say you don't care. You don't care. My heart is not your heart. It is your heart that does not care. Praise the Lord. You can say whatever you want. You have your mouth. I've said my own. Everybody in his office. There's office of the fool. There's office of the wise. There's office of the ignorant. I don't know which your office is. Mine is a prophet. That's what I've said. I am against it. There's no way government, politicians can always be uniting for their own selfish gains to oppress Kenyans. This is oppression. Why couldn't he just stand there? Amechoka na kwenda kwa street. Si angekaa kando. Anaingia pale kukat deal ya nini? Na cut deal na mtu ambaye ni devil worshipper. Ruto is a devil worshipper, disguising himself as an angel of God in the church. Very nonsense man. Very evil, wicked man. Wickedness, even if you look at him like this, wickedness is written all over him. The other day he came in a vision. He was begging me to agree with some of the things. I told him I don't agree. And I left him seated there and I went. I can never agree with Ruto. Not on anything. Raila goes and unites with him. I pray that he fails at ACU. If he succeeds, okay. That's his own problem with his family. It is his salary. I don't care. But my prayer is, Apostle Michael, that he fails in that quest. We cannot have politicians that are chameleons, always changing like this. They're getting richer and richer, and Kenyans are getting poorer and poorer. Nonsense. Very nonsense. They should have left Ruto to perish because Ruto tried to play God. You can never play God. I said before and I say here again, no amount of interventions will help Ruto. You can never play God. And you cannot dance. You cannot dance on people's blood. You cannot drink people's blood. You can't do that. Now he's back on top of cars going there. That's all he knows. Kutangatanga tu. Huku. Hakuna kitu huyu mtu anajua. Ameharibu kila kitu. Kila kitu ameharibu. Mtu aliambia Ruto ati Ruto ni genius. Alikudanganya. Alikuwa anataka pesa yako. You have nothing here. Nonsense. Na bado kiboka ya Mungu inakuja. Tatuangwa vizuri. Think you day wise. Nonsense man. Clueless. Rudderless. Pointless. Resign bwana. Toka hapo. Nonsense.
You look at this issue. History teaches us how to shape the way forward. You remember back then in 2017, 2018, we had Amina Mohamed.
Yeah.
She was a Kenyan. Amina Mohamed wanted to vie for the AUC chair.
Yeah.
Akashindwa na yule Faki.
Yeah.
Now, do you know the people that voted, the first people on the front row to vote against Amina Mohamed? It is the same East African countries. Djibouti, Tanzania, Uganda, Burundi,
Rwanda,
Eritrea. Do you know what one of the former ambassador of South Sudan to Ethiopia, he was called something Morgan, Peter Morgan or something, Morgan said, Kenya could not even convince its neighbors and its partners. A country like Burundi stated clearly, we could not support Kenya because Kenya is one country that likes interfering with affairs of other countries. Uganda said the reason was Kenya, we have an unsatisfied thirst for everything. Yani sisi ndo utaka kila kitu.
Sindi America.
Hao ndo maneiba tuna expect sahi atu watu support.
But
I said it last time. They have a reason and they have grounds to say that. We as a country misbehave. I mentioned before, I said, look at the friction we have with our neighbors today. You know, me since I was born, I've never seen this kind of friction where we are not in good terms with Tanzania, with Uganda, with Sudan, with Congo, with even Rwanda, it's lukewarm, with Somali. You get it? So how do you expect I saw people celebrating the other day and saying, oh, now Raila is going to get it because they've agreed the leader will come from East Africa. Now he'll come from East Africa. But who? What is East Africa?
But don't you think, Steve?
What and who is East Africa?
So you think Raila will not get the AUC seat?
No, he won't. He's not even qualified. The Djibouti guy will beat Raila. Baba Taoshwa. As he say in the Luo, they will nango Baba.
Okay. If really Kenya wants Raila to go, they must go beyond Ruto running into Nyanza. He should have been in West Africa, not Nyanza. It started as I didn't see Francophone president. That was very telling diplomatically. When a president sends a minister or sends a principal secretary, that is a diplomatic communication that we are not happy with this.
The Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and his amazing history. He saved President Moi. He pronounced Kibaki Tosha. He shook hands with President Kenyatta to stabilize, and he stabilized every government since the 90s. He has become the single stabilizer of governments. We know his commitment to Kenya is total, and people are saying it is time to shake hands with President Ruto. Mukisa, you know the Honorable Raila Odinga well. You've worked with him, you've known him, you've been friends for ages. Is this his time to stabilize Kenya?
I respect Raila Odinga for what he has done and sacrificed for this country. I think this is time to retire. You know, two problems with the handshake that is being discussed right now. Raila has been the leader of the group that is standing up against government and mobilizing on the street to fight government. Then he goes to talk peace and that war ends. Today, he is not responsible for the youth who are on the street. So when he goes to form government, is he curing a problem of relations between Kenya Kwanza and ODM or between Gen Z and the government? You know, just because you have a hammer does not make every problem a nail. He comes to form coalition government where he's not party to the contest that is on the table.
But every coalition government he's formed has stabilized the country.
But because he was pacifying groups that were standing behind him, he's not leading the group that is questioning the legitimacy of this government. So he cannot be the spokesperson, he cannot be the solution. He becomes part of the problem if he's not listening to why are people going onto the street.
Great respect to Baba, but it's not his time. Now it's not about stabilizing the government. It's about the government responding to the call of austerity measures and taking care of what we have in the coffers. We should not be increasing the wage bill or increasing the people that serve the government.
The Honorable Raila Odinga, you guys said you respect him, you take him as Baba. What do you want him to do?
I think it's very unfortunate that Baba has chosen to jump ship from the camp of the people. I wish Raila was saying, now it is time for school-going children to have meals whenever they go to school. I wish Raila was saying, now it is time for all victims of state brutality to be compensated. I wish Raila was saying, now it's time to bring an end to corruption in our country, to usher in good governance. But Raila is saying, let's dialogue. Ruto, he's completely out of touch with the majority of Kenyans, with the reality of what is happening in the ground. And this is a very wrong political move for him because it completely discredits him as someone who says he's fighting for the people. On this one, you're not fighting nor representing us, and retire.
What does the Kenyan president know that maybe we don't know? Here's the Kenyan president on the US dollar.
I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
Now, normally, I don't go to the Kenyan president for my economic advice. What he said here was, for those of you who are holding dollars, US dollars, you shortly might go into losses. So you better do what you must do because this market will be different in a couple of weeks. Now, he said that last week, which would mean that this week or the next week, if he knows something we don't know, we might have a problem. It's just Kenya. What do they know?
I beg of us, I really want to beg of us today, as the chair of UDA, let's stay focused to what it is we promise those hustlers. Because if we don't deliver, those hustlers will send us out of power, and they'll send us with vengeance. So let us talk about roads, electricity, education, health, types. Let's tone down on the politics. It is not healthy. It is not healthy. It is the wrong time.
Wananchi inaweza sikia kuchukua William Ruto. Wanaweza mchukua kwa sababu sisi wananchi, we don't need him. Ametuchosha. Ama nyinyi mjachoka? Mjachoka na Ruto? Ule mtu anataka kuchukua William Ruto, you can take him for free, take Wetangula for free, take Mudavadi for free. Tunawapea hizo takataka zote waende waongoze if they are good to you.
Zile vitu tunaongea sisi si wenda wazimu. Their plan is exposed. In God we trust. Na nyinyi mtajua hii nchi ni ya Mungu. Sisi tuko na God. Mko na power, mko na those Subaru boys, mko na guns, na sisi tuko na God. I'm telling you, this is a David Goliath war. This is a David Goliath war. Sisi generation yetu, sisi tuko na Mungu. In God I trust. In God we trust.
Majenzi mko? Kazi mnafanya kwa mtandao ni mzuri sana. Na tunapongeza nyinyi. Na muendelee. Mtaendelea. Lakini mtandao peke yake haitoshi. Tunataka mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Wale watu ambaye watakomboa Kenya hii, wenye kuamua Kenya itaongozwa namna gani, ni hao majenzi wetu mwaka wa 2027. Lakini hamwezi amua Kenya itakaa namna gani kwa simu peke yake. Lazima mchukue vitambulisho, lazima mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Siku hiyo ikifika muamuke saa 9, muungane na sisi na wengine, tuende pale kwa debe, tutafute uongozi wa maana ambaye utaheshimu wa Kenya, utaheshimu demokrasia na utakubali kufanyia kila mtu maendeleo. Tumekubaliana majenzi?
Hata nasahau tarehe ni gani. Mimi siko na tarehe kwa kalenda. Na mimi hata sina haja nayo. Mimi chenye niko nayo ni serikali ya 2027. Huyu mkata ushuru tumtoe. Na tuungane si wote.
Meta vile naona nisha reject hiyo finance bill 2025. Ningoje tu date ya maandamano. Juu mambo yendi bana. Mimi hata wafanye nini? Mimi nisha reject. Mfanye nini? Nisha reject. Mfanye nisha reject. Nime reject. Mtoe date ya maandamano sasa bana.
And we are not alone. There's a new force of nature at hand, stirring all over the world. They are the young people whom, frankly, we have failed, who are angry, who are organized, who are capable of making a difference. They are a moral army. And the most important thing that we can do for them is to get the hell out of their way.
Kwanza mimi ikifika 2027 naiba mpaka kura ya madhangu na budangu. Sitaki warudi tu huko tena. Si youth church anuka. Madha zetu bado Ruto unaenda home na 13 parliament tunaivunja. Wende home wote tuanze fresh.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. You must go. Ruto must go. Kwapa na hatuendi. Kwapa tunalala huku na hatuendi. We don't fear you guys. You hypocrites. We don't fear you. Mr. Speaker, we don't fear you. Tuko ndani. We stomped inside. Sisi ni nani? I'm inside. Niko ndani. Na tunamalizana na nyinyi. Tunamalizana na nyinyi. Mmetutesa sana. Today is today. You must hear our cry. Sisi ni sisi. Mtatusikiza. Hii ni bunge yetu. Sisi tumewafanya mko hapa. This is our parliament. You must hear us. Kama hamna masikio, tutawafanya msikie. Poa manze. Sha nini?
President, nataka kuambia uko na miaka 2 katika ofisi. Na hawa wananchi hawa they will punish you, na hata ukiwa na pesa watakutoa nje.
Wacheni tu mimi niseme na mapema. Ndio kama kuna list na andiko mniweke kwa list. I can't wait to reject Finance Bill 2025. I can't wait because I know it will be something absurd. It will be something mental. I can't wait. Mniweke kwa list jameni. List reject.
Idiots who don't want to participate in the affairs of their nation, they think things will just work in and of themselves. Then they are tribalists. And these tribalists, they think that they are only safe with people who are from their tribe. And tribe can mean people from the same culture, same language, or same culture. Then they are citizens. These are individuals who are responsible and know that when you want to be served, you must give those who have the desire and the intellectual capacity to serve you. In many societies, it is only a small percentage of people that can be called citizens, not more than 5%. And if a society wants to grow in the right direction, civic education is what will help the idiot and the tribalist to become a citizen.
No one is going to tell me what to do at one time. I'm in charge. So please put that proposal on the table and then let's discuss it. And if they need a right, you can't say because there is a rule here. We work according to the rule.
Mungu yetu itoe Ruto Kenya, hata kama angalau na jali. Sisi Kenya tumechoka na Ruto, maisha imetuharibikia, nalipisha mpaka sodo ya wamama. Pure kabisa Ruto. We don't like you, go home. Sasa tafuta kiongozi ambaye anapenda mwananchi na anapenda kijana kama sisi.
They want to be described as honorable even when they are horrible. They acquire things which they have not worked for. They promise us things that they know they will never deliver. And there is no shortage of such men and women in the African continent.
Now, why do you want Ruto gone?
We want Ruto gone because he is killing innocent people. He's wanting to pass the Finance Bill 2024. He's putting tax on sanitary products that girls can't even buy. He's can't go to school. He's corrupt. He's taking the money. He needs to go.
Yes.
Out. If you're going to raise anything, start with your hairline.
Nice.
Control, Alt, delete, Ruto. The drunk did better than you. Drunk did better than you.
Nice.
Now the next election,
yes.
Unajua hawa ndio watakuwa nasema fagia wote ama mtasema namna gani? This generation,
yes,
they use their might because they didn't vote, the largest vote in the last election.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mengi. All I want to say is Ruto must go, like yesterday. Bye.